housing market is not crashing. It is still a very strong housing market.
All new on Denver 7 News at 6, home prices and sales are down in the Denver metro, signaling a change in our housing market.
As the market shifts, buyers have a little bit more power.
This morning, a tradition returns to a community still recovering from the devastating Marshall Fire.
The way we work has changed since the pandemic.
People are stronger when they act together.
Employees are standing up for their rights.
And make a stop in Loveland this Labor Day and buy some sweet treats for a good cause.
It's crazy to think how much we've grown and how many people we've helped.
Yeah, today is the day you might see some cookie stands, lemonade stands out there, the unofficial end of summer.
Yeah, and they're working today for a good cause on this Labor Day. So hopefully you have the day off. We're all here to spend it with you this morning. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be coming back from the mountains after their vacation weekend.
Absolutely, roads will be packed.
Yeah, they'll be packed, especially a little later on this morning, and it's hot out there.
Yeah, we have a long stretch of 90s and near record heat expected for the Denver area. So stay cool, stay safe. It's going to be sunshine across the state to start your morning as the sun comes up. It is right now quite mild at 68 degrees and winds sustained from the southwest around 5 to 15 miles per hour over the plains. So some gustier conditions over eastern Colorado, but right now it's low 60s from Littleton up through Boulder. Already seeing 70s moving into Golden and Arvada and into the mountains, 40s and 50s to start your Labor Day morning. Here's a look at our hourly planner. We'll hover in the 60s here over the metro area until about 8 o'clock, and then the heat will start to build. 9 o'clock at 77 degrees. We'll be in the high 80s by noon, and daytime highs return to the upper 90s. 97 is our expected high out at the airport and into Boulder. 70s to low 80s into the mountains. So some dry conditions into the high country today. We could see an isolated storm or two down across southwestern Colorado. Otherwise, it's just going to be sunshine, high heat today, tomorrow through Thursday, Micah.
More 90s. Well, Katie, Floyd Hill, typically a good indicator of how our traffic is looking, especially if you're headed to or from the mountains. This morning, things are looking good. A lot more headlights and brake lights than we saw even just 20 minutes ago. So if you do need to make your way back down to Denver, you're in good shape at this hour. Let's go ahead and go to the map. Take a look at a few of your drive times. Southbound I-25 from I-70 to Broadway, 7 minutes. Northbound running is 7 minutes as well. Most of your major roadways are in the green. Westbound I-70 from Pena Boulevard to I-25, 10 minutes. Eastbound, 11 minutes, so you're looking good if you're headed to the airport. Let's go ahead and pull up our airport security wait times here. Bridge security 18 minutes, South security 15 minutes, so we're still looking pretty good there if you do need to head out this morning. We'll go ahead and go back to the map, take a look at one more drive time here. Southbound I-25 from Northwest Parkway to Colfax, 15 minutes. Westbound I-76 from 104th Avenue to I-25, 10 minutes.
Well, yeah, Labor Day is the unofficial end of summer. Many pools are closing today, but for one local community, it also marks a new beginning.
Yeah, Denver 7's Veronica Acosta is in Louisville, where they lost so much in the Marshall Fire, of course. And Veronica, this morning's parade is a chance to come back together and celebrate.
It is, and we're talking about the Louisville Labor Day Parade today. It is this community's biggest event. We're talking parents and kids. They look forward to it every single year. But back in 2020, it was canceled because of the pandemic. Last year, it wasn't in the same spot on Main Street because you can probably see some of those outdoor dining patios behind me. The city didn't want to disrupt businesses here. They'd already been so disrupted by the pandemic that it opted to move the parade to some other route. But this year, it is back. So if you've never been to the Louisville Labor Day Parade, we have some video. This is from back in 2019 to give you a look and really a glimpse into what it's kind of like, all the people out here, how much they enjoy it, how much they love it. So this year, there's a special theme to the parade. It's Happiness Is. And as you can imagine, that's really intentional because it's a celebration after everything that this community has been through in the past 2 years. Now, before the main parade kicks off, there's going to be that children's pet parade. So that's going to start at 9. Dogs, cats, birds, stuffed animals, those are all welcome to walk alongside your kids if you want them to. Now, if you're wondering about logistics this morning, here's what you need to know as far as the parade goes. It does start at 10. You can bring those chairs and those blankets. You might want to consider getting here a little bit early too, just so you can get a good spot. make sure you're able to see everything that you want to see. The parade is going to run south down Main Street, so just keep that in mind. And then you can probably see some of these side roads here behind me. Those are going to start closing up right around 7 this morning, so in about an hour or so, because again, that children's parade that starts at 9, we want to be able to keep those kiddos safe. And so just keep in mind as you start waking up this morning, maybe going out, getting something to eat if you're not working. The actual parade, again, that kicks off at 10. We're live in Louisville this morning. I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
All right, looking forward to seeing that fun out there, Veronica. In Lakewood, police are looking for this man and this truck. He's accused of running over a Walgreens employee and then taking off. It happened Saturday night at the Walgreens on Colfax and Kipling. Police say the man was shoplifting and ran out to his truck. When officers got there, he ran over an employee who was outside trying to get away. If you recognize the man in this picture or the truck, call Lakewood Police.
The Colorado State Patrol says Labor Day weekend is the most dangerous holiday period on the roads, and that's even more dangerous than July 4th or even New Year's. The State Patrol says it made more than 4,600 drunk driving arrests last year. Troopers say nearly 80 deaths have happened over Labor Day weekend in the past 10 years, and 45% involved impaired driving.
You just had a great summer. It's coming to an end. Pools are going to be shutting down. You got kids in school, and this might be kind of one of the final times to take vacations, but whatever it is, people are taking the opportunity to kind of get together and enjoy themselves and party a little bit.
But you can help them and be their extra eyes on the road. If you spot someone you think is driving under the influence, dial star 277 to report them to CSP. Be sure to give the dispatcher the exact location and what the vehicle looks like.
Well, anyone traveling over the weekend noticed you're paying less for gas. AAA reports the average price across the U.S. is now $3.78 per gallon. Prices have fallen every week since peaking in early summer when those prices reached more than $5 a gallon. And more good news, prices should continue to drop this month as producers switch to a winter blend of fuel. Here in Colorado, our prices are about 6 cents lower than the national average, $3.72 a gallon. We've seen a drop of more than 50 cents in the past month, but still 10 cents higher compared to last year at this time.
Well, it's been a frustrating few years for home buyers, but the market is starting to ease up now. The August sales report from the Denver Metro Association of Realtors shows the average price is down 4.5%. Home sales were also down 6%, and homes are staying on the market a little bit longer, an average of 19 days, and that's up more than 45%. And that means that potential home buyers have a little more time to look for a home and even ask for an inspection.
I think the advantage to buying right now is the likelihood that you're competing with another offer is much less. And so you can really navigate your own path and decide what's going to truly make you happy for the right house. So being patient is really important right now, looking at the data to validate the price, and then just making a final decision to make sure you're happy.
Yes, imagine having time to decide on one of the biggest purchases of your life. Buyers are not only getting inspections, they're also asking sellers for concessions to fix things first before closing. However, some sellers are just giving the money back at closing and letting the buyers fix the items themselves.
The cost to rent an apartment, meanwhile, in Colorado is going up. ApartmentList.com says prices are up about 7% in the last year. That comes out to about $100 more per month for a one-bedroom apartment. Apartment List says Brighton is one of the cheapest places in the metro to live right now. The average for a two-bedroom there is just under $1,500. In Aurora, it's about $1,700, and in Denver, about $1,800. It also costs more than $2,100 right now to live in Westminster or Parker, among the most expensive.
Vail Resorts and the town of Vail are going to court over a piece of land Vail Resorts would like to use for affordable worker housing. The Denver Business Journal reports the 23-acre plot is also home to bighorn sheep, though. The resort filed a complaint in Eagle County asking a judge to let it move forward with its housing project. Last month, Vail's town council passed an emergency ordinance, though, suspending any permits there. Vail Resorts wants to use 5.5 acres of the land to build housing for about 165 employees. The town says the land is needed for wildlife preservation.
Well, you might have missed a very important holiday yesterday if you were sort of focused on the Labor Day celebrations. This one's an interesting one.
This one's exciting too, especially for those who grew up in the 70s and 80s. Danny New has more on a special occasion Sunday.
Yes, where are my manners, guys? Happy belated National Pet Rock Day.
Oh, yes.
Maybe some of you remember this. If you don't, please let me enlighten you. Because back in 1975, the pet rock was invented, which you can still get today, as you can tell by the presence of a website. And like you just saw, they had googly eyes. They had a box with holes in it, so your rock could breathe. It's a pet. Is this an eccentric concept? Oh, sure. But it does bring up fond memories for our viewers. I asked some of them on our Facebook page last night. They remembered it. Okay, so actually, some of them did, some of them didn't, and then others commented something they remembered. This is a car wash toy that they loved from 1963 called Mr. Kelly's.
Awesome.
The jingle was like, Mr. Kelly's Car Wash, do-do-do-do-do. It was really fun. So some people remembered the car, and others remembered things that were older than The Rock, including the Mr. Kelly's Car Wash. Don't you wish you had that toy for your kids?
The car wash
That looks
hasn't
awesome,
changed too much,
actually.
right? The
Yeah.
process kind of looks the same.
I think it's pretty standard. You just kind of put your car in neutral and let really loud, scary things touch your car.
But I have to say, just like the Pet Rock was like a pretty dumb toy back then, there are still really dumb toys today, like the fidgets and poppets.
Mm-hmm.
What is up with those making all this money?
How do you feel about the toys that like they poop? You have to clean it up. Have you seen those? Yes. Have your kids wanted those yet?
No, not the poop, the slime for sure.
Okay, slime's always in.
Yes, that's okay, but
Yeah, I love the Easy Bake Ovens. If you guys ever had one of
yes,
those,
I did.
Always.
Yes.
I did.
Make slime.
Well,
in
thank
the
you.
Easy Bake Oven.
Put it in there.
And I did not know it was National Pet Rock Day yesterday, Danny. So thank you for that.
Time to party.
Sorry, my manners.
Speaking of the Rockies are back in town on this Memorial Day, and it is going to be a sweltering game for them at Coors Field by 2 o'clock, getting to 96 degrees in downtown Denver and still in the mid-90s by 5. So stay cool. You want your baseball cap and sunscreen for today. We'll talk more about the long stretch of 90s ahead coming up. Micah.
Yeah, and as that heat builds, traffic will start to build. Right now, it's really quiet, though. This is our live CDOT camera out at Floyd Hill. As you can see, a couple of cars on the roadways, but traffic is flowing pretty smoothly. As far as your major roadways closer to the metro, all running in the green at this hour. We'll take a closer look at the map coming up.
A leak affecting tens of thousands of taxpayers. The IRS is now giving details about what caused the data breach.
Plus, don't miss out on this taste of summer. What to know about the last day of the Taste of Colorado right in the heart of Denver.